sabay-sabay tayo sa biyahe ng BTS. Kung arangkada buong bayan ang ating dala, ito lang ang biyahe, hindi pwedeng pumara. Ipagsigawan ang ating bayanihan. Ating isipin at ating damhin na tayo'y bayaning tsuper. Bawat araw panatan natin na tayo'y bayaning tsuper. BTS, bayaning tsuper. BTS, bayaning tsuper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo ay bayaning, bayaning tsuper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo ay bayaning, bayaning tsuper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo ay bayaning, bayaning tsuper. Ikaw ay bayani, ako ay bayani, tayo ay bayaning, bayaning tsuper. Ating isipin at ating damhin na tayo'y bayaning tsuper. Bawat araw panatan natin na tayo'y bayaning tsuper. BTS, bayaning tsuper. BTS, bayaning tsuper. BTS, bayaning tsuper. BTS, bayaning tsuper. Bayaning tsuper. Bayaning
Is this on?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, mga kaibigan at mga kababayan, ako po si Orion Perez Dumdum. Nandito po tayo sa ating palatuntunan ngayon, ang Orion's Belt, Cafe at Cuento. And by the way, guys, we're very, very blessed to have two beautiful ladies with us today. Ano po to? We have yung mga kasama natin sa The Filipinos World, no? Medyo kasama rin po ako doon kasi paminsan merong Saturday show, no? I think 6 p.m. yata yun. Ay, 5 p.m. pala, 5 p.m. And paminsan ay naging guest din ako doon. So, ang mga kasama po natin, nandito po si Miss Agnes Alimbog. Siya po ay actually so siya yung lead convener ka ng the Filipinos World, founder director ang tamang at the same time she's actually also part of the DMW, so chief of staff po siya doon sa isang sa ASEC ng land-based deployments ng DMW, so Department of Migrant Workers, my department, having been a long time OFW, di ba? Siya rin, dating OFW po siya for a long time, si Agnes. At may kasama rin po tayong artista rito. Okay? Artista, pero at the same time, ano po siya? Meron po talaga siyang maraming mga advocacy, no? So, mga sustainable ventures, green energy, ganyan. At marami rin siyang ginagawa sa pagtutulong sa mga IP, mga indigenous peoples, no? So, ano po siya, kasama rin po siya sa The Filipinos World. Artista po siya, so you probably watched her movies or whatever, mga teleserye na nasama siya. None other than Miss Sharmaine Suarez. Okay? So guys, pag-usapan po natin, start muna tayo sa The Filipinos World. So, Agnes, paano ba nasimula itong The Filipinos World?
Okay, before answering, maraming salamat and it's so privileged to be here sa Orion's Belt. Thank you, Orion, for having me and Sharmaine guest on your show. So, ang ganda naman ng ano dito. Ang ganda ng ambience, tsaka ang ganda ng technical facilities. Anyways, I was an OFW way back then, 2007 to 2019. That was before pandemic when I came back in the country just to have a vacation. And having my vacation, sabi ko, sige, may mga personal issues na kailangang ayusin with my kids, with my family, and the property that I bought. Kaya na, nagkataon na nag-delay until pandemic happened. So I got stuck, and then hindi na talaga posible kasi March, no flight, wala. You're stuck in the country. So until 2020, like that was October, my birthday. My birthday was yesterday.
Yun, happy birthday!
So, napag-isipan ko, so got locked down. Sabi ko, I'm a bit emotionally unstable at the time. Kasi, you're only confined in the setting of your family. Wala kang, you can't reach out, you can't go out. May ayuda ka sa pagkain. Sabi ko, I want to reach to the Filipinos and to the OFWs because I was also a former OFW advocate and even until now though. So sabi ko, I wanted to do something that can reach out and I have the passion to reach out really with the OFW. Sabi ko, ano kaya kung gagawa kaya ako ng isang programa? Pero that kind of thing at the back of your mind and saying na kaya ko kaya, I don't have money, I don't have resources. So I tried to do like a research, just doing a research really like, sige nga, titingnan ko. And then I was watching, sino ba yun sa CNN yung medyo magaling doon na, anchor?
Babae, lalaki?
She's Iranian.
Christiana
Amanpour. Sabi ko, ang galing naman ni Christiana Amanpour. Parang sobrang ambisyosa, no? Sabi ko, I want to be like her, but of course, not really literally as like her, but I want to do something that she does. So, sabi ko, sige nga, try ko nga magawa ng ganyan. And then, based on my research, nakita na ko na, okay, what should I do? I don't have background about broadcasting. Hindi naman ako media personality and not, yung course sa journalism. Pero based on my research, sabi ko na pagtanto ko, kaya yan to reach out. So it's like, lakas ng loob. This lakas na. And that's how it started. So the first thing that I aired in the episode, why the Filipinos World? Because I wanted to reach to the Filipinos in the world. Kaya yan. Tapos tinignan ko yan sa internet kong sandali lang, baka may copyright.
Baka taken na yung pangalan.
Oo, at saka baka baka makasuhan ako kung meron nang gumagamit. So far, fortunately, wala pa. So then, ang first episode that we did was the Filipinos and Filipinism. So I had on board Miss Helen Rojas from BARM and another personality, I forgot, from business enterprise ata. And that's how the Filipinos World started. Then the next episode was Samira Guto, who's also part here in Vantage Point Media. So that's how it flourished. And we talk about a lot of issues. We talk about national, international. We talk about various topics on energy, liquefied natural gas, environment, and not just the OFWs. And now here we are. So Mas Sharmaine is also part of that.
Yun, galing. Very good story. Thank you very much. Also thank you for involving me in the Filipinos World and
My
also
pleasure.
yung maraming mga events for the OFW community. So that really helps because particularly me, I've also been an OFW for a long time. No? So
20 years ka ba?
Talagang, 24 years na yan. Yung pagka-OFW ko.
More than a few.
So now we also have Sharmaine, no? So Sharmaine, you're also very very active with the OFW community through the DMW, no?
Yes,
So
that's
ayun, that's why you're also part of the Filipinos world, no? So how did you get started here? Can you tell us your story?
Well, I come from, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here, Orion, at Orion's Belt. And it's nice to meet all your staff and the people here at Vantage Point Media. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be able to speak about your advocacies and talk about things that you normally don't with other people. And then you get to form more ideas and everything becomes organic, and then you get to help one another out. No, so it's really a pleasure for me. Thank you very much, and thank
You're
you
welcome.
for me. Yes, I come from a family of migrants. So from my aunt and my mom. My mom was a migrant worker herself. She's a nursing assistant, and even her cousins from my grandmother's family started off as nurses in the Middle East, and then went on to move to the U.S. many years ago from the 80s pa. So I'm familiar with all of that. That's why my heart is
Yes,
with the
yes.
migrant workers, and I migrated myself. I got married at one point and left for the U.S. So we're all over the place.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you really look for where you live, for your home, where you were born, and your culture is here, and you identify yourself as such. So kaya yung pagmamahal mo talaga nasa mga OFWs din, because it's a big sacrifice for you to leave your home country and live in a different culture with different people and assimilate. And the Filipinos are very good at assimilating. From all the races that I've met, no, I'm sure you've also witnessed that.
Yes,
Na tayo
exactly.
talagang mga Pinoy ang magaling mag-assimilate sa iba-ibang mga kultura, at saka may inherent tayo na interest sa mga iba-ibang kultura at iba-ibang tao. I think that's and we're genuine about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we thrive even abroad. But it is a big sacrifice to be leaving your home country, to leave your family behind. So it takes a very special person to live and stay abroad and make that sacrifice, and then give back to your community and to your families. Diba? So I think it's high time that we do all appreciate that and have advocacies that help out our migrant workers and our migrants.
Totally. Ako nga, I really feel bad nga about the situation, because I think, if you think about it, diba, yung pagiging migrant worker is originally supposed to be more of a stopgap measure for a country. So parang, I know so many countries have also gone through that phase. So there was a time when Japan also had a phase of sending out people. Turkey also had a time na they were sending to Germany, diba? Maraming mga tao from Turkey going to Germany. Korea also had a time when they sent people to work also in Germany and other places. And some point, it stops because there's a time when yumaman yung bansa, di ba? So, the country improves, tapos nakakabalik na yung mga tao.
Yes.
And I feel though,
There's
yung problema
jobs for
natin,
them already.
We aren't there yet.
We aren't there yet. Actually, kung ano yung talagang problema na bakit umalis yung mga tao, yung kawalan ng trabaho, hindi pa naaayos. Hanggang ngayon, and sometimes it's really sad, because I feel that we've actually been given pointers by people like Lee Kuan Yew. He actually said in 1992, "Hey guys, if you want to be able to improve your economy so that your people who are working abroad can come back home, this is what you do. Open up to foreign investors, let them come in and create as many jobs, because that's what we did in Singapore too." But we haven't done it yet, no?
Unfortunately, that's why there's brain drain.
Yeah.
Although our economy is helped out by the migrant
With the
workers.
remittances,
because, yes,
diba?
through remittances, and then of course they send money to their families, and then they're able to encourage the growth of our economy here a little bit. But the thing is, all our brains, all our skills
Are
used
drained.
by are used
Are
by
drained.
different
There's no
nations.
gain,
Oo,
yeah, there's
so
no gain.
yeah. So that's unfortunate because with all our skill sets and our technical abilities and all our brains, all our smarts, as a nation, we could have really thrived, no? If only we are supported and protected by our government and our
Oo nga eh.
our structure,
Ikaw,
business structure.
Agnes, you were in the Middle East, ano? Is that,
Yes,
is that right? Yeah, Middle
Dubai.
East yung ano mo. Kasi ako sa Singapore, ikaw sa Middle East. So,
Sharmaine sa America.
ikaw sa America. No? Tapos, I think you also went to Singapore for a time for studies,
Yes,
eh, di ba?
yes. I studied there, worked there under Mr. Sabri Buang, who was my director. I was doing theater.
Oh, nice,
So,
nice.
we even
For how many
represent-
years?
I was there for a couple of years.
Alright.
We were performing in KL, in Turkey, well, not in Turkey, Romania. We were representing Singapore, no? I had to
I
represent
see,
Singapore in the
okay.
UNESCO Theater Festival, Venezuela Theater Festivals. So
Oh,
we
wow.
went around.
So you were under a
We went around.
contract at that time?
No, I was a student, and then I was working and
Working, studying?
Yes, studying at the same time.
Right, okay.
Grabe, ano? I mean, yeah, we all have our very different experiences. You go into different parts of the world, no? And yun na nga, I think this collective understanding of what it is to be an overseas Filipino or an overseas Filipino worker is very important, particularly if, you know.
But you know what, before, if I may
Go ahead.
interject on the premise or the description or even the definition of what an OFW is, it comes from various reasons,
Yes,
and
yes.
not just on the inclined with the opportunity or seeking for a greener pasture, but it's dealt within one's growth and emotional strain. There could be various of that. And when you want to dissect a person's reason why he or she left for abroad, it's beyond the money.
Yeah, it's not always just the money.
And
Yeah, of course.
it's more of finding oneself where he or she be at. Kasi sa dami ng mga opportunities abroad, there can also be an opportunities by which we can look inside our own country, but we hadn't thought of that there are. It's just on our plate, but we don't want to see that plate because we thought there's golden plate out there. But we haven't thought there's a diamond within. So alam mo yun, pero when you want to decipher the meat and the reasons where our resources do come in, there's much better opportunity and privileges or benefits that we can as Filipinos would want to explore, if I may say that. Kasi coming back here in the country, nakita ko, andito pala sa Pilipinas eh. But I hadn't thought that there are. I thought of, working abroad is really the cream of what you're seeking for, a gold. Pero nandito pala ang gold sa Pilipinas. Pero hindi ko nakita kasi I was blurry with that with the opportunity, or might as well I was having an inner struggle with myself that I wanted to search for that meaning. So alam mo yun? And there could be variation or
The
other.
mindset kasi din
Yeah.
na kinalakihan natin na minsan parang, I guess dahil nasukol tayo, no?
Oo.
So many times by different nations, iniisip natin na mas maganda talaga abroad, mas maganda sa labas, mas may oportunidad doon. Yung naging mindset natin yon, when actually, pwede naman tayo dito.
Yes, exactly.
Diba?
Alam mo yung
It's
tawag mo
your heart
yan
really
when
that,
we are very West colonized. Our mentality are very
Very colonized.
colonized. Like, even with the way we use a toothpaste, it has to be this brand because that's a Western culture. And when we have a cell phone, it has to be this brand because that's where the grandeur of, using such kind of brand, di ba? Pero bakit hindi natin inisip na bakit hindi lokal? Bakit,
yes.
that kind of
Yun
thing.
ang
And
kailangan
we are
natin
so,
encourage
be
na.
proud of, patronizing our own product.
Our own products.
Kaya, okay, I'm one of those and I'm guilty of that because to me was like being abroad or working abroad would make me feel a different kind of persona and would make me feel a different identity as a Filipino. But no, there was really, you're trying to block the real identity of who a Filipino is.
Yun ang parang, well, ngayon, madami na rin tayong nakaka-appreciate ng produktong Pinoy.
Yes.
At sana exponentially lumaki yan. Kasi magaling tayo. We have very good designers for clothing.
Yeah.
Meron tayong weave na ginagawa sa iba-ibang regions natin na magaganda, hindi natin na-appreciate, hindi natin ina-advocate, pinapatronize. Yung pinya lang, di ba? Yung mga barong natin, it's very beautiful silk. It's pineapple silk, di ba? That we create. Imagine, ang gaganda ng mga produkto natin, pero hindi natin sinusuportahan. Ngayon, medyo nakikilala na. Ngayon, meron tayong mga designer na nagsa-thrive abroad. Unfortunately, nasa abroad sila. Pero at least, ang ginagawa nila, pinakikilala nila ang talento na Pinoy. So, at hindi sila nahihiya na ipakilala sa ibang bansa na Pilipino sila at magaling sila. So these are now our anchors. These are now our proponents. They can help us invite people to know more of our products, more of our skills, and for us to also appreciate our own products and our own talents, di ba? So I think it's high time that we really pushed for that, di ba? All we really need to do is market ourselves. Ang gagaling kaya natin.
Indeed.
And beyond marketing ourselves, it's but a proven reality even. I work as an OFW in Dubai. Ang preference ng mga companies doon are Filipinos. There was one company like literally hire bought Filipinos. Kasi ang gagaling ng mga
Filipinos only ang hinahire
Yes,
lang, di ba?
It is a Canadian company that was in Jumeirah before. Talagang lahat ng architects, mga draftsmen, mga engineers, lahat Filipinos lang. And I don't know what's the bias dahil sabi na, baka mababaw ang Filipinos.
Well, aside from you guys.
Aside on that, malilinis kasi mga Filipinas. Pero ibig ko sabihin, very hardworking, very dedicated.
And sana na kahit nandito tayo sa bansa natin, ganun din tayo. Kasi meron tayong minsan kultura na pag nasa ibang bansa, we're out there to really prove ourselves, no? Pero pag nandito tayo sa Pilipinas, parang teka, bakit hindi? Parang nagkukulang tayo, parang masyado tayong relax. Siguro yun din ang problema, yung suporta ng pamilya natin, minsan hindi na maganda. Sa kakasuporta mo, na nangyayari, kinikripple mo na yung personalidad ng tao, yung capacity ng tao, yung potential nila nawawala. Dahil sa sobra naman pagtulong, di ba? Pero pag nasa ibang bansa tayo, nagiging nangyayari, independente tayo, because we're independent, what happens is we really thrive because we have to. Because of that need din, no? So, minsan kailangan din talaga, pinupush tayo, tinutulak tayo,
Napansin ko,
Go ahead.
host siya, di ba?
Ano yun? Okay lang. Hindi, pero gusto mong magsalita nga kayo eh.
Nako,
Okay lang,
sorry you are being
Okay lang
by the
yan.
Filipino world ladies here.
Tama lang yan. Dapat nga talaga kayo yung nagsasalita. Diba? So, yun.
Pero, well, that's one of those things na pinagmamalaki ng mga Filipinos. And beyond that, the Filipinos are very, I would say, a majority of us are smart. Majority of us are intelligent. Nako, look at naman Orion. This founder of a Correct Movement, and we are able to speak, we can articulate things, we can comprehend matters beyond our ability just to read about it. And we can decipher a lot of, complicated things that our other nationals, I may not say who were those, pero madali tayong makaintindi. When your boss tell you na, gawin mo to, kailangan ko na gito, we go beyond that. The instruction is very simple, but we make it more attractive, Kaya nagugustuhan talaga tayo ng
Ang na-notice ko nga kasi, tayo, kunyari, we're doing our job, no? And when we hit the wall, we try to find a way around it. Parang, okay, we hit a wall, but baka naman pwedeng ayusin yan. So, meron tayong ganyan. I mean, I have seen some other nationalities. Di na ako magsasabi sino. Pero, parang hit the wall, tapos, boss, wala hindi ko na kaya. Parang gano'n. Yun na yun eh. That's it. So, di ba? Yun yung naging problema.
Try to climb the wall by hook or by crook.
Hindi kasi very competitive. Ang nature natin is very competitive. Alam mo yung
At saka yung resilience natin, siguro yun din, yung nabigay ng pag-colonize sa atin. Diba? Na we don't stop. Napipiga tayo na teka muna, hindi tayo magpap-oo lang ng oo, diba?
You know why? I may have that experience because when we are elementary, it's always a competition. We categorize the kids, the pupils, as they say, like first honor, second honor, best in, best in. So naging innate sa atin yung pagiging, I wanna excel. When I grow up, I wanted to be on top.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I sorry for the others, but that's very general. Sa elementary pa lang, tinitrain na tayo na ganyan.
Tingin ko baka meron din kinalaman sa paminsan may mga stuff that really just don't work. So we have to try to find a way around it. Hindi gumagana. Nag-brown out. So anong gagawin ko para gumana itong kailangan kong gawin? Walang electricity. Yung mga ganun yung parang things are, we're challenged by our environment. So when we're there, we have to find a way around it.
So they say, diba, the father invention is need.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Baka ganun, di ba? I remember what you were saying just now about yung parang sometimes we have to go abroad para to find ourselves, di ba, and all that. And then I think when you look at some other societies, like say the States, for example, dun lang sila sa kanilang country, but within the country. So within the country, ikaw taga Los Angeles ka, tapos you wanna try your luck in Seattle or somewhere else, parang ganun.
New York.
Oo. Parang wala tayong ganun dito masyado eh. Mostly, a lot of us are based in Manila, tapos dito lang din talaga sa Manila yung mga trabaho. Wala yung parang, yung nasa ibang area pupunta.
Pero naman, sa mga probinsya, di ba, minsan gusto nila,
meron din ganun.
Dito, pupunta sila sa Metro Manila, kala nila, may
Masarap
trabaho,
ang buhay,
hindi nila naiisip na, teka muna, bago ako pumunta doon, titignan ko muna, madami bang trabaho para doon sa skill set ko. Hindi nila alam na they have to arm themselves first. So, yun naman yung...
Kaya ang nangyayari, they end up in, kunyari kung ano na lang trabaho kasi hindi pa nga equipped. And that's also...
Hindi, at saka sa dami ng graduates natin.
Yes.
We're overskilled, but there's no jobs, so you end up doing maintenance work. Although, these maintenance people, mga basurero, there are modern day heroes. If they do not do the job that they do, paano na tayo, di ba? Kailangan natin sila. So we all have to play a part. And just because some of them, parang dito kasi sa culture natin, these skilled work is very menial. Hindi. In other countries, they're actually the higher paying jobs. Diba?
Truck driver na, taas ng sweldo sa North America. Plumber, mga ganyan.
Yun nga, so yun ang dapat din natin na mindset na dapat kalimutan. Kasi importante yung mga ginagawa nila. Dapat bigyan din natin sila ng importansya at ng magandang sweldo. Kasi mahirap yung ginagawa nila.
The one is parang giving importance on our abilities.
And dignity to the jobs.
Kasi, like for example, if you talk about carpenter dito sa Pilipinas, masyadong binababa. Pero pagdating sa ibang bansa, UK, for
Kaya
example,
nga eh,
Germany.
Australia,
mahal.
ganun.
Ang sahod nila, mamahal.
Yeah. At saka importante sila eh.
Yeah.
Anong gagamitin nating mesa bukas?
Oo.
Kung hindi ako marunong maglagari at saka mag-design ng mesa, de paano na, 'di ba? Anong gagamitin ko? 'Di ba? Hindi natin nakikita yung yung talento nila, yung skill nila, and how important it is. We just take it for granted. Diba? Unfortunately.
Hindi kaya part of the problem dyan kasi ano yun nga parang lumalabas na hindi ganun karami yung so-called job opportunities. Kasi for some reason, no, the way the Philippines was set up was that halos lahat ng mga real economic activity napunta sa Metro Manila. Parang masyadong nakasentro sa Metro Manila. So dito yung mga kumpanya, yung mga taong nasa ibang parts of the Philippines napapwersang maghanap ng trabaho dito, especially after graduation, di ba? And so the end result is nagtrabaho sila sa Metro Manila to gain experience, tapos mababa ng sweldo. Afterwards, mag-a-abroad sila. So parang they just work here in Manila or the Philippines to gain enough experience so that they can go abroad. Kasi doon sila makakasweldo na maganda. Parang wala maybe we could try to do what some other countries did, like say Singapore, or even yung mga countries in the UAE where naging bukas sila sa mga investors. Bahala na kahit hindi local investor, basta may trabaho kine-create. And then dumami yung mga jobs. Yung mga jobs ngayon ay nagko-compete against each other. Na dito na kayo mag-work, so nagpapataasan ng sweldo. Sa Pilipinas lumalabas pa minsan kasi it's like parang parang isang job opening tapos 500 yung mga taong
dahil
di ba?
sa dami ng qualified.
Oo.
Di ba? For a while kasi, di ba, I mean, which is very important, that we put importance on education and skill building. Pero nangyari nga, dahil wala masyadong trabaho, dahil kunyari, ang uso ngayon na trabaho, nursing, di ba? So lahat magiging nurse yan, ang gagaling natin. So kahit na hindi yun yung competency nila, mag-aaral sila, magiging nurse sila.
Ang daming ganun sa Cebu.
So nawawalan ng trabaho. Dun sa iba naman, yung skill set nila na iba, na dapat bigyan ng importansya, hindi na bibigyan ng importansya tulad ng pagtuturo dahil maliit ang sweldo ng mga guro, hindi na sila nagtuturo.
That's something
Diba?
that our
Importante.
government agencies has to look into. Like, for example, labor and employment DOLE. Maybe have a dialogue with Department CHED. Kasi doon mo nakikita sa college pa lang, papag-usapan ay yung mga demands in the areas or the sectors where labor force are needed. So may ganyang klaseng usapan. So tapos may quota siguro, like sa nursing ba yan, sa kung education ba yan, kasi lahat na siguro, lahat nursing. Pero at the end of the day, baka mawala na yung opportunities sa nursing, di ba? Kasi over a supply.
Yeah.
Oo nga eh.
You know what I mean?
May makikita kang mga towns dito na dahil mo yung recruitment, puro mga sailors o puro sa mga barko. So lahat ganun yung gagawin nila. Di ba? Parang,
I don't know. It may sound to be to be ideal, but maybe some kind of a study that our concerned government agencies may look into with statistics or the data, so that not everyone has to jump into studying nursing.
The same field, no?
Kind of. I don't know. I'm not statistician. Maybe si Dr. Guido.
He can help out with that.
Hi, Dr. Guido David. He's also part of the Filipino Soul, by the way. He's one of the anchors. All right. So I think the perspective about how we evolve and we the dynamics of the setup, whether you're an OFW or you are here as a Filipino, is the importance of taking that responsibility and the work or the functions that's given to you, and accordingly your responses also to your clientels, to your beneficiaries, would that be. Pa sa akin, being a former OFW and working here right now in a government may be of a different context, but when you address your responsibility on what is due of you, or what's tasked of you. That's how you find the meaning of responding to the situation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm just really concerned about how are we going to get past this whole brain drain issue talaga. It's really a big problem, di ba? Kasi parang nangyayari, nagpo-produce tayo ng mga educated specialists in fields na unfortunately hindi naman nila nahaharap yung trabaho dito. Sa labas sila pumupunta.
Yeah.
And then yung skill sets ng mga tao natin dun sa ibang bansa, kumbaga sila yung nakikinabang. Oo, di ba? They're taking advantage of.
There's a proposal about, I think we have also discussed it during the OFW conference, diba? Na yung ilang years, that's where we call it equivalency experience. Like for example, 25 years ka sa Singapore and your specialization was into IT. Pagbalik mo dito sa Pilipinas, dapat hindi ka na padaanin ng rigorous evaluation. Sandali lang, salary grade ka kasi ganito ka. According to our requirements, qualification, dapat naka-ano ka ng mga hours. Pero yung experience itself defines that you are beyond what's required in here as per the civil service. I mean, come to think, I'm not making any bias here because the OFWs do have wider scope when it comes to experience, but my God, working abroad, dealing with various nationalities is not easy as the ones we faced here. Honestly,
that should be given importance.
Yeah.
Just like when I was in Singapore, the reason why I was only studying there for 2 years to graduate theater arts was because they counted my experience here as an actor. So I didn't have to go through the many
rigors,
years
mga
because they counted nga
yung
that
work experience mo. Yeah.
So
Diba?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yun yung wala tayo eh. Yun yung wala.
Papel kasi lagi tinitingnan, no?
Exactly.
Sobrang
they have
papel.
doctorate, they have
Ang galing mo nga sa papel, pero practical, wala ka namang idea. Hindi ka rin magta-thrive eh.
Kaya ang ating mga OFWs, pagbalik dito, when they're already, they have the gain out abroad, and then even the drain, pagbalik dito, wala silang, sorry for the lack of term, parang
Kasi hihingan sila ng hihingan ng papeles, pero napaka-skillful na nila. So saan sila pupunta? Anong gagawin nila? Wala silang papeles. Hindi sila makapag-apply.
Like we had one OFW we interviewed in the Filipinos World na. His name is Mr. Roberto Mariano. And when he came back here, so may ilang years ba siya sa KSA? 25 ata. Nagtayo siya ng sarili niyang company. It's with the glass ba yun?
Yeah.
We had that interview.
Yes.
And nag-employ pa siya ng ilang yung OFWs.
Ng mga OFWs, in-employ niya dito.
14. Oo. Kasi kung ano yung natutunan nila
Glass
abroad,
and aluminum.
ginamit nila dito
Yun
sa
nga.
Pilipinas. And which is fantastic. I mean, well, one, they were not dependent on the government's
Yeah.
Help.
help.
Yeah, that was his
Oo.
that was his point in that interview that we had. Na minsan kasi hanap ng tulong sa ibang mga ahensya, sa gobyerno. Kailangan matuto din tayo tulungan yung sarili natin. Kasi may mga utak naman tayo eh. So dumiskarte ka din, 'di ba? Hindi naman puro iaasa mo yung tulong sa iba.
Totoo yun.
But saying that, that's one option though. But of course, when you have the capital, when you have the means to
And our
have your own.
government also has a responsibility to us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
But ang sayang lang doon kasi ang gagaling hindi napapakinabangan dito na dapat pakinabangan dito sa ating
So dapat siguro yung mga reintegration program natin dapat mas bigyan ng pansin at bigyan ng magagandang programa.
Yes, we have a
That's
list of
importante
those
yan.
OFWs na kung bumabalik, meron ba mga intake nung bumalik ka ba?
Wala
Si
naman.
Orion, sandali lang, Singapore, IT, 25 years experience, may mga ganyan.
Wala namang ganun eh. So, and I think that's something that maybe that's the initiative of the person na kailangan mong pumunta sa I guess sa DFW para sabihan na meron akong ganito. Kasi when you just decide to come back, you're just like coming back And then wala namang protocol yun na lalapitan ka, sir, returnee ka pala. Wala namang ganun di ba? It's like you have to actually go to the DMW to say, I'm a returnee and there are certain programs I'd like to see kung meron mga ganyan, di ba?
So right now, ang assigned dyan sa reintegration is si ASEC Kiko Di Guzman. So for those
Which it used to be
with ASEC Benevigaspe. So kung gusto ka o interested ka na mai-recommend siguro ng DMW to work, for example, DPWH, parang i-assess yung qualifications mo. But then again, yun nga, wala pa kasing equivalency based on the experience between na nagkakaroon ng understanding ang DMW and the Civil Service Commission.
Right now, it's still at the proposal stage, di ba? Yung this idea of equivalency is still being
it's in the
discussed.
proposal stage.
And
Even lobbying in Congress, wala pa rin nangyayari sa ganyan. Dapat meron. Kasi sayang yung ang gagaling ng mga bumalik.
I have a question. You might know this, and both of you might know this. I don't know what the answer is to this. No? Pero yung, for example, if you're an OFW and then you've been working abroad, and of course you never became citizen in another country or whatever. Tapos, let's say yung ibang tao gustong mag-serve sa gobyerno, gustong mag-run for office. Pero meron diyang, di ba meron dito sa atin yung mga dapat 10 years ka sa Pilipinas or dapat mga ganyan. Ano yun? Parang, yung mga residency requirements. Ano yun? Pasasabihan ka na, sorry hindi ka pa nakaka 10 years hindi ka pwede. Di ba yung mga...
Sandali lang, are you talking expats?
No, so Filipinos who've gone abroad and then came back, so parang pwerisado silang mag-work abroad no? Ngayon, pagbalik nila, meron silang mga magagandang ideas, parang, in a way, they're actually sort of like blocked from running for certain positions because of residency requirements, di ba? May mga ganon. Hindi naman
Pero
nila kasalanan.
hindi ba nila give up yung citizenship?
Hindi. So, kumbaga,
there's no Filipino.
Filipino talaga siya. Filipino talaga.
And they can apply.
Pero kasi, ang nangyayari, di ba, like, you've lived 10 years abroad, no? Tapos, yung certain positions dyan, dapat 10 years nasa Pilipinas ka. So, automatically...
There's no provision like that. There's no provision that you have lived 10 years.
Well, I know for president, di ba?
Meron.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know for senator.
Pageant, di ba kailangan may
6 months residency.
May residency. So, parang dapat... So, parang... Ang question wala bang hindi pa pwede ma-waive yung mga ganun? Kasi
I haven't
diba?
known which agencies
there's a vacuum in the
No, so not for government employee positions, but for elective.
Okay. Elective is 6 months.
6 months.
Residency.
Okay. For certain positions yun. I know that for for president, for example.
Okay. Yung mga
yun, 10 years yun
position, yes.
President,
pero
dapat 10 years.
Mayor ka, pwede ka 6 months to reside in a place.
6 months lang.
Yes.
Okay.
So parang, parang beauty
Kung ikaw,
pageant na
taga Makati ka, gusto mong tumakbo sa Quezon City, you should have a residence there for 6 months.
paano
at least
kung
6 months.
kunyari galing kang Germany, tapos balik ka dito, gusto mong tumakbo Congress or Mayor?
Well, as prescribed in the law, so you should
Is it 6
reside.
months?
I don't know if
It
it's
is a
6
year.
months.
It's at least a year, and then I think for president it's 10.
Yeah.
But I guess the question there kasi is yun nga, this sort of bars people from, let's say they're really good people. I mean, let's say sabihin natin, si Dado Banatao. Although sa States, I think he became an American citizen. But like someone with that guy's brain should be
what's
the
the
kind, Dado Banatao. So basically, IT engineer siya talaga na he became a technopreneur, and he really thrived in the USA, and so a person like that, and of course it just made sense for him to become an American citizen from what I know. But someone like him, for example, that person's brain should be taken advantage of by us here in the Philippines, but we can't because na siya like nag-change na siya ng citizenship or kahit let's say kahit nag-stay siya as citizen of the Philippines pero ang tagal niyang nasa labas hindi siya uubra dun sa 10 years. Di ba? So he'll be considered wala ka hindi ka pa
He has to make a choice.
Diba?
I mean, decision. Sorry.
Well, like in GB, they get knighted if you're Scottish and you're somewhere else, and because of your accolade, you get knighted.
Oh.
So you're welcome back to your country of race or origin, and then you're welcome to do
Pero even
whatever
yan,
you
like
represent.
in a span of 1 year at least?
No, once you're
Immediate?
knighted. Yeah, once you're knighted. From what I understand, once you're
So,
knighted.
okay, marami pang mga flaws ano natin sa mga
Mga
regulations.
kinks.
Yeah. That needs to be re-evaluated. So, yan.
Kasi talagang, I mean, you know, what happens is, marami sa mga magagaling sa atin, and many of them end up getting forced to go abroad kasi they feel that, for example, kunyari yung taong magaling sa nuclear science, kaya wala naman tayong nuclear ano dito, pwede siyang pumunta ng ibang bansa.
Or
Yung
they
talaga
get
magaling sa nuclear.
invited.
They get invited, di ba?
Marami, yung
Diba?
mga graduate, ang alam ko nasa NASA sa UN.
Ang
There's some
dami,
people
iba-iba.
that I know, personalities, and they're
Oo.
performing well.
Oh, so may mga ganyan, di ba? And then now, these kinds of people, they've had to work there because that's the only place where their particular specialization is found. Now, let's say now they want to decide to come back to the Philippines and serve in, say, the highest position. But they're not allowed to because there's that 10-year, you have to have lived in the Philippines for 10 years, tapos hindi na sila pwede. Kahit na ba nag-retain pa rin sila ng pagka-Pilipino nila. Sabihin natin, ano sila, they never became a citizen elsewhere. O, di ba? They never got rid of that citizenship, of the Philippine citizenship. They stayed on being a Filipino, and then they're basically just maybe a permanent resident, or naka sila sa DMW. I mean, naka-register as an OFW, di ba?
Yeah.
So then finally they come back and they want to serve, but they're not allowed to kasi nga may 10 years.
Pag
So, di ba?
political kasi iba ang ano ba yun, regulations.
Oo nga eh.
When you seek a post in a government agency, but you hadn't given
Mas
up your
stringent.
citizenship as a Filipino, then you're qualified to to apply. So
Yeah.
there's distinction.
Kasi I'm really thinking about this. But anyway, guys, we'll take a little break first, and then, you know, we'll be back very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. So maraming salamat. Babalik po tayo in just a little bit.
Looking for a job abroad? IPAMS is a DMW licensed recruitment agency offering the best opportunities for Filipinos since 1972. Explore the best job options in various industries and locations abroad. We are a 100% no-fee charging company. This means no placement fees, no processing fees, no salary deductions, no exception. See our jobs at ipams.com and follow us on our social media. Start your career today at IPAMS, uplifting lives.
Is a trusted recruitment partner since 1972. We offer absolutely 100% zero placement fees, providing Filipinos the best jobs abroad. We're uplifting lives.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, nagbabalik po tayo sa ating palatuntunan ngayon, ang Orion's Belt, Cafe at Cuento. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by very beautiful guests today. Special guests who are really into helping Filipinos all around the world. So, nandito po tayo with ang ating kaibigan na si Agnes Alimbog at si Sharmaine Suarez, no? So, guys, let's continue our discussion. Ang ganda ng mga pinag-usapan natin. Grabe.
Nakakatuwa eh. Iba talaga pagmamahal ka sa Pilipinas at sa mga Pilipino.
Correct,
So,
exactly.
I think that's what we need to identify with.
I
Lahat
know.
tayo. Hindi lang tayo nandito, kundi lahat ng Pinoy, nakakalimutan nila yung pagmamahal nila sa sariling nating bayan. So,
Yes.
siguro sa mga eskwelahan natin, dapat
yes.
dapat panatiliin natin yung pagmamahal sa sarili natin, yung mga guru natin kailangan katukayan, sabihan na inganyahin nyo naman yung mga estudyante nyo na
Yes.
mahalin ang sarili nating bansa at sariling kakayahan. Diba? Importante.
Ako, gusto ko rin ma-add dyan na sana, rin tayo, open din tayo na learning yung mga best practices na pwede nating magamit dito. So, alam mo yung sa school, bawal kumopya. Diba? Yung kumopya ng homework.
Bawal yan pag hindi ka mahuli.
Oo. Pero kumbaga, magaling ka. Pero kumbaga, bawal sa school kumopya ng homework, kumopya ng sa exam, diba? Bawal. Pero yung sa mga bansa, nagkukopyahan eh. So kunyari, si Japan. Japan, kaya naging...
Nagkukopyahan ng exam?
Hindi naman ng exam. Pero yung, kumbaga, paano umunlad yung Japan? Yung Japan, nung mga 1850s kasi, nabisita sila ng US Navy. Na parang pinuwersa silang maging open. And yung mga shogun, yung shogun, yung mga samurai, na sila, natakot sila na, napag-iwanan na pala tayo ng West. Kasi meron na silang gunboats, meron na silang battleship, tayo wala. Bow and arrow, sword lang tayo, ganyan. So, sabi nung government ng we need to change and modernize. So, ang ginawa ng Japanese, kinopya nila yung Europe, yung West. No, they parang nagpadala sa ng kanilang mga matatalinong estudyante at saka yung mga ibang mga leaders na pumunta sa West, pag-aralan kung anong ginagawa nilang tama, yung mga science and technology nila. Nag-hire din sila ng mga scientists and engineers from abroad
That would teach
na magti-teach ng nung mga science and technologies doon sa China, sa Japan. And that's how Japan became what it is today. Yung sa Meiji Restoration ang tawag, kumukopya sila. No? Yung kanilang military, for example, ginaya nila. Then they developed their own. No? Pero kaya, for example, I'll give you an example. Ang ginawa ng Japan for building up their navy and army, sabi nila, gagayahin natin yung army ng Prussia o ng Germany. No? So, gayahin natin kasi magaling sila eh. So, gayahin natin. Yung British Navy naman yung magaling sa mga navy. So, gayahin natin. So, nagpadala sila ng mga tao doon at saka nag-hire sila ng mga consultant, mga dating mga retired admiral, ganyan, i-training nyo kami. Ganoon. So, yung countries copying other countries, is
Medyo
not,
maganda din.
it's not considered bad.
Yeah.
It's not crime.
It's not a crime. It's not considered bad. I mean, everybody does it. Turkey did the same. There was,
Tsaka
diba?
nandun na yung kaalaman ba't magsa-start ka pa from zero?
Yes.
Diba? So you build on that knowledge and then develop, you innovate.
Exactly,
diba?
exactly.
So bakit ka magsa-start nga dun sa pinaka-bottom? Meron nang may alam. So impart the knowledge.
Hindi na natin kinakailangan mga pa,
Oo.
di ba? So, I mean, meron dyan yung, for example, yung Singapore. Singapore did certain things, no, like yung bringing in foreign investors, etc. And then, all these other countries na karatig bansa niya, ginaya siya. Sabi ni Malaysia, yun pala ginawa niya, gawin ko rin. Umasenso.
If it's for progress, why
Oo.
not? Diba?
So, sana tayo sa Pilipinas, hindi tayo takot na gayahin kung ano yung mga tamang ginagawa ng ibang bansa. Kasi there are things that, kumbaga, nagawa na nila, it's low-hanging fruit, we can learn from that.
It's opening your eyes and seeing what's there and applying it to us and then developing it, di ba?
Exactly.
Hindi para mag-umpisa ka sa, dahil nakapiring ka,
Nakaganyan
wala
ka
ka
eh,
nakikita, yun lang yung path mo, di ba? Imbis na madami ka lang na-explore. Tama.
Diba? Para shortcut din. Para mabilis. That's how Singapore became what it is. And that's how ang China, ginaya si Singapore Ginaya yung Singapore. Yan ang ginawa ng Singapore. Gayahin ko nga. Di ginawa rin nila. And ngayon, naging mayaman silang bansa. And, I mean, I think we just need to open our minds. Diba? So that the Philippines can learn these best practices. Para umasenso rin tayo. And then we don't need to keep on sending millions of our people abroad na malayo sa kanilang pamilya. Diba? So, yun. So, imbis na yung mga taong yan ay nasa ibang bansa, hindi kasama pamilya, how about yung kumpanya na yan, dalhin na lang sa Pilipinas?
Yes, oo, tama.
Diba? Para nasa Pilipinas yung trabaho, yung mga tao hindi kailangan mag-abroad.
Diba? Tulad noon, nagma-manufacture tayo, nag-e-export tayo. Asa na yun ngayon? Bakit tayo ngayon nag-i-import? Pati yung mga magsasaka natin.
Import
diba?
na.
Asukal natin, bigas natin. Noon tayong number 1, diba? Nag-e-export. Bakit ngayon, hindi natin ginagawa? Ba't mas mura na sa ibang bansa?
I may share this anecdote of mine. As you mentioned kanina na pinapayaman natin ang nasa sa ibang bansa. Actually, that was also one of those things when I came back here in the Philippines. Sabi ko nga, nako, ang boss ko lang ang yung mayaman. Nakukuha niyo yung, nadidrain na yung brain ko kasi lahat naman in-exhaust to make, because I was into logistics and supply chain. So, na-drain ako sa kaka-make the shipment on time, yung wala kang demurrage, mga ganyan. Yun, you present your documents clean, under letter of credit. Sabi ko, sandali lang yung mayaman ng ang boss ko, but it still make me at this level. So sabi ko sa loob-loob ko, why can I not do this on my own? Because nakuha mo na eh.
Alam mo na eh. Exactly.
You've gained the knowledge, you gained the expertise. Kasi noon, kinakausap ko sino-sino ba mga international banks like HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Deutsche Bank, yung mga malalaking bangko sa London, sa Germany, sa France, and even sa America. Sabi ko, hi, with this expertise and knowledge that I have, why can't I just not make it on my own? Yeah. But then again, when you come back, you are nowhere to be found. Like, saan ko pwede i-invest ang knowledge ko na gain? There's nobody who will say like, look, ano bang experience mo? Ano yung forte mo? Wala eh. When you come back, you are at nowhere. When you come back, there was nobody who will evaluate your capacity and ability that you've done for the past 12 years, for example, that you're able to hurdle and make it as like one of the best, employees in your company. So pagbalik mo, nagsiself-pity ka because nobody will recognize that.
Parang hindi mo mahanap yung sarili mo.
Hindi mo mahanap yung sarili mo. Nangangamba ka ngayon eh. Sabi, saan ako papulutin? So parang, and then you say like, I don't have connections.
Tapos wala kang trabaho, so may insecure ka na.
Nobody will notice you. And like, hey, you're an OFW. Oh, sure, you're nothing. People will shrug you off. because they don't know where you're coming from. They don't know the kind of ability and the experience you've done when you work abroad. So walang ganyan eh. And it's true, not just to one person. It's true to the millions of the overseas Filipinos who come back here in the Philippines.
Kaya iba di talagang permanente na sila nagmamigrate. Kasi they feel they're valuable there.
Oo.
Diba?
Totoo yan. Honestly,
Quantified yung value
and I
nila.
agree with Sharmaine. Honestly, if I have to look back and pick the pieces of where I had it the last time,
Nag-thrive ka dun eh.
parang gusto ko na lang bumalik kasi I'm noticed, I feel valued and I'm important and your boss will come to you.
Kilala ka kasi doon eh.
Yeah, kilala ka in the field of logistics and supply chain. Tapos sabihin ng boss mo na, gawin mo yan because you're good at it. But here you aren't.
Hindi ka nila kilala. So.
You aren't appreciated.
Hindi, at saka pag minsan nakapasok ka na sa kumpanya, ganyan ka lang, hanggang dyan ka lang. Hindi ka na pwede mag-progress, hindi ka pwedeng mag-manage, kasi yung educational background mo, hanggang dyan ka lang. So yung sweldo mo, hanggang ganyan rin
I was
lang.
in Dubai.
Diba?
Well, I had an
Corporate
opportunity
structure
to be recognized by our Scottish company. And there's always discrimination with Filipinos, right? Wherever you go, silent. I don't know if it's
Being
true.
brown-skinned.
But there is. Pero when I was in Dubai, I'm happy. And one of those fortunate na nare-recognize na kahit Filipino ako, nakita kasi, like in your resume, hindi ka naman nagsasabi ng lies doon. He gave me a good position and I was like an operations supervisor, Scottish company. And in the absence of my manager, general manager, ako yung nagre-replace sa kanya. And can you just imagine if all of the companies would see the value, not just because of your skin and not just because of your nationality, because of the capability that you're able to do the job. So, sana ganun yung pagtingin.
Sana ganun nga. Actually, ang akin sana talaga magkaroon tayo ng napakagandang economic environment dito sa Pilipinas para as much as possible we get all these job creating companies that are all around the world to come here to create as many jobs as possible, 'di ba? Para yung mga underemployed and employed nating mga tao, magkaroon sila ng talagang magandang trabaho. And in fact, pag talagang dumami yung mga job openings, yung mga taong nasa labas ng bansa, they can also start coming back home kasi they'll be finding out, teka lang, okay rin pala yung mga sweldo sa Pilipinas. Pero mangyayari lang yun kapag pina-imbita natin yung mga companies na yan.
Sa akin din, not to say the biases that surrounding within our civil service regulation, but also, back to where we were talking a while ago, yung equivalency. Kasi dito, may doctorate ka ba? Alam mo yun, yung lahat na hindi mo naman nasusukat yung
yung kakakahiyan.
Based on the
kakayahan,
papers, yung kakayahan, sorry for the Tagalog. Pero based on the experience, the knowledge also. Kasi ang una talaga is, may doctorate ka ba? So, I think we really have to leave that. It's a facade. It's a facade. And I think we have to go beyond the paper.
Masyadong papel-based, no? Yun ang problema eh. Yung bias ng sistema natin is all based on paper, not so much on the actual experience, no?
That's unfortunate.
Buti nga sa case mo, nangyari yun with yung experience mo as an actress was.
But this was in Singapore.
I was in Singapore.
But when I come back here, they don't
Really?
Kasi syempre, I've had a long career doing acting, getting acting jobs. But they don't realize that I'm also learned, that I went to school for what I did. Kala nila kasi minsan pag artista lang yan. Hindi ka nakatapos ng high school yung iba dyan. So, they see you as that, artista lang. Pero teka muna, this is my passion and I'm fortunate that I have the job as an actor. But, I'm also learned in many things, in so many aspects, and not just for TV, but for theater and in different roles as well, di ba?
Pero kasi yan si Sharmaine, masyadong humble.
Oh.
Hindi masyadong nagsasalita sa
Ito, tanong po, Sharmaine, how did you get involved with yung sustainable ventures and green energy, yung mga ganyan? That's
Yes.
very technical, di ba?
Yeah, well, I cannot pretend to know and understand all the technicalities of green energy, and everyone's still exploring, especially with hydrogen technology coming to the forefront, no? And everyone's still exploring it, even in Europe, Japan, here in the Philippines, no? Although DOST has some programs wherein they're trying to develop a proper hydrogen fuel cell that we manufacture. I got into it because of the love for nature, I should say. I've always loved the water. I've been a diver since the 90s, a scuba diver in the 90s, and then so I had that appreciation for nature. And then you see how we haven't been looking after nature.
Yeah.
And then I lived in Subic, where I started appreciating the forests as well, and that's how I was able to connect with our IPs.
Ayun.
So yun
Okay.
yun yung journey ko.
She's so close to the IPs.
Oh, yun nga eh. That's one of the things I'm so impressed with your situation. Kasi you're not only into helping out OFWs and overseas Filipinos, but also into yun nga, yung environmentally
Yeah.
related stuff
Well,
and the indigenous people as
We
well.
forget that a part of our environment is us.
That's true. That's true.
Diba? And the ones that protect our last remaining forests are the ones that live in the forest and appreciate and live off of that. And they're the IPs.
That's true.
Diba?
That's true.
And that's our topic tomorrow sa the Philippines. Tomorrow ba? Na Saturday.
So, di ba, kailangan bigyan natin sila ng importansya. And ako, should I say, I'm unfortunate to be of different race. I'm a mutt, so to speak. I would say I'm a mutt. But I identify myself as Filipino, and being Filipino, we have to appreciate our culture, and we have many tribes to appreciate and to learn
That's
from.
true. That's true.
We don't even have to look outwards, no? Alagaan natin yung mga tribe natin.
Preserve,
If we
yeah.
just and preserve our culture, kasi asan na yung kultura natin? Madami sa atin. I mean, we've been bartering with the Chinese for many years, even before we got colonized, with Malaysia, with Taiwan, melting pot talaga, parang mga Californian tayo.
Yeah,
Diba?
very
westernized.
Lahat tayo, halos may halo na eh. Bibihira na lang yung talagang tribes people natin or talagang indigenous natin. So dahil dyan, nawawala na yung kultura natin, hindi natin na-appreciate yung kanya-kanya nating mga tribo dito sa Pilipinas na magagaling, and we need to learn from them. We need to learn from their ways. We need to learn from their humility. We need to appreciate how they've tried to preserve what culture they have and what they know. So sana wag naman natin silang alisin sa kung nasaan sila, wag natin silang tanggalan ng identity.
Yes.
Wag natin silang, you're correct, i-exploit, because we always exploit them and we always step on them. We don't value them.
Oo nga eh. You know, one thing I was just thinking, I mean, we were talking last night sa birthday mo eh, Agnes. Yeah. So last night, diba, napag-usapan natin yung sa case ng mga ITAs, diba? And they basically, they're great when it comes to surviving in the wild,
Yes.
diba? And, you know, yung basically foraging and hunter-gathering. And tingin ko nga, dapat gawin silang mga resource of knowledge para sa yung mga special forces na mga
Actually,
military, di ba?
Special force.
Oo,
Okay.
kasi-
Sa mga intelligence.
Oh,
mga
yun.
Jungle survival.
Yung mga jungle
skills,
survival.
yeah.
Kasi
Actually, that's very true.
sila, magaling
That's
sila
very
dun eh.
true.
Yeah. Actually,
natural
the
lang sa
Americans have been training them, and they are trained by the ITAs as well. There was an exchange in Subic, and they've learned how to teach jungle survival skills to the US from the 70s pa, from before pa, from so sorry, mga 50s pa, parang identified na talagang there was an exchange, and they've been kasi when the Japanese were here, di ba?
During the war.
Yan ang mga AITA talagang mga tumulong sa mga Amerikano para mag-survive sila dito at saka paano makapagtago. I mean, we have snakes. So they're not familiar with the terrain here. So it was actually the AITAs that have helped them assimilate.
Okay, talking about the indigenous peoples.
There are heroes
Yeah, of
when it comes to
course.
that war.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if I may just say tomorrow, 26th Saturday is the last week for the Indigenous Peoples Month. No, that will be Sharmaine's and Nas topics in the Filipinos world. But as Sharmaine has expounded on the value and importance of the indigenous people. And myself as also blooded, IP blooded. The tribe of my father is. Alam mo yun yung. If I may just say this, share this with Dato Sabunutan. He was not a learned person. Sabi niya, wala akong pinag-aralan. But the wisdom, the power of this wisdom when he speak, when he talk, he is listened and followed by the tribal people. Kasi ang galing it's a gift actually. It's embedded in him, and it's very innate kasi pag magsalita siya, oh my God, parang I don't want to hindi ka over describe it, pero para siyang Diyos na yung mga salita niya parang banal, sobrang makakapaniwala ka na. Yes, parang how on earth does he know a lot of things when he was not educated? So to me, well, of course, education is the primary knowledge of our learning. Pero base doon sa karanasan Base doon
experience yung kanyang
when you are immersed from the time that you were born until the time that you explored to see the world. Ganon ang mga indigenous peoples natin. They see the reality. And that is not even tainted. It's not corrupted. That's the pureness of their heart when they speak, when they serve to their fellow tribe or people. Kaya kung titingnan mo ang pamana at kultura natin mga Pilipino na nanggaling sa ating mga katutubong Pilipino ay kailangan i-preserve, and it has to be dignified even when we are going forward to the millennium years and whatever years we are facing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Galing.
Knowledge talaga, no? It's not a piece of paper. It's not going to school every day.
Oo nga
So, kailangan talaga nating bigyan ng importansya. Kasi, if you talk to the indigenous, ito experiences natin yan, nakakahalimula, nakakahalubilo, natin sila. So, nakasama natin parati sila, no? They have insecurities. Why? Because of the standard that we have, na sinasabi natin sa kanila, na pinamumukha natin sa kanila, hindi sila nakapunta sa mga paaralan, hindi sila naka-attend ng eskwelahan.
Formal education,
so,
as we call
dahil doon, they feel insecure, they feel that they're stupid, that they're not, na wala silang alam, hindi nila alam, they're very rich.
Sila mismo meron silang pwedeng ituro sa atin.
Hindi naman lahat ng tao pwede maging doktor, hindi naman lahat ng tao pwedeng abogado. Diba? We all have our own specialties and we have to find value in our own culture and our own expertise.
Yes, exactly.
Diba? Napakagaling mo ngang doktor, pero paartihin mo, syempre, hindi naman yun yung core competency nila eh. So,
Pero hindi mo alam kung anong herbal leaves yan na the indigenous peoples know that.
They would know that.
Yes.
Yung medicinal plants nila, alam nila yan. Diba? And they've imparted actually, the vice chieftain, si Joseph, what's his last name? Joseph, anyway, he helped write a book on the medicinal plants that we have in the Philippines. That we have.
Wow. So, sino yun?
That's
Si
very
Dr.
good.
Is he a doctor or
No.
indigenous?
Indigenous, yeah. He's an Aita.
Where is he based? Sa
Zambales.
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 Yeah.
Good to have him.
Hindi, kasi syempre, they already have this innate knowledge of ano eh.
Oo.
Yun yung
Sila yung
buhay
nagtitest.
nila eh.
Kumbaga, kung meron dati research and analysis ng mga lab, sila yun yung...
Alam na nila
And
yung
they
ano.
love to tell the truth. Tulad, may yung kaibigan namin na kagat siya ng cobra. Philippine cobra. She survived it. Kasi may mga alam sila na
Gamot.
na para ilagay dun sa sugat para kung paano i-address yun.
Imagine
Hindi
that.
siya namatay.
Kasi ang ano ngayon, injection, right? So,
Oo.
like,
Oo.
okay,
Yeah.
there's the injection, blah, blah, blah. Pero sa katutubo, iba.
Iba. Tapos meron pa sila na, kung gusto mo, yung asawa mo, mahalin ka ulit, dapat ito.
Gayuma. Parang gayuma.
Matanong nga yan, matanong. Saan ba si Dato ba yan? Puntahan nga natin.
Meron silang ganun nakakatuwa. Malay mo mag-work.
Dami ko. Pwedeng i-negosyo yan eh. Yung chemical na
nag-isip
yan.
lang. Sandali lang, Vantage Point Media.
Pwedeng i-negosyo yan. Kasi yung knowledge na yan, di ba? Kakaiba. Not everybody has that knowledge eh. So, and it can be, I guess that kind of knowledge can be capitalized upon, and sana there's a way na kumita sila, yung kanilang community, para meron silang diba?
Kaya, dapat yun. Yun nga dahil nga, syempre, they don't have the network. Nandun sila nakatira sa bundok. They have all the knowledge, and they have all the produce, tapos niloloko lang sila kasi yung mga pupunta doon, kunyari tutulong, ganito, ganyan, ini-exploit lang sila.
Ito yung question ko kasi we've been, how old is the Philippines ba? And since time immemorial, our IP's been there, right? Bakit, although the context is to preserve them, our culture and whatever it is, pero bakit walang tulong na hanggang ngayon naghihirap pa rin sila? That's always been what's boggling me. Bakit hindi natutuunan yung mga karampatang tulong?
Kasi yung tulong, parang...
How is it?
Dahil-
Like, is this a vicious cycle that's as you wanna say?
Ako ang nakikita ko rin kasi yung problema, pati nga yung mga hindi IP, hindi rin natutulungan eh. Yung mga mahihirap natin na hindi IP, hindi nga matulungan. So lalo na yung mga nandun sa mga malalayo, all the more na mas mahirap.
The question
Yun yung problema.
here is, if I would just speak this one, ang dami nating pera. Ang daming pera ng gobyerno.
Totoo.
So where is it being, saan siya nalalaman?
Meron kasi tayong very inefficient set of systems.
And ngayon wala na tayong budget.
But if we could fix, kasi parang we're supposed to have these resources, but the methodology for managing the resources is inefficient. We have an inefficient set of systems. Kaya nasasayang lang.
Kasi you
diba?
look at it, like every year we have a budget. Every year still the same situation, still the same problem the people face that, and we're not finding exact right solutions.
Kasi
Why?
parang
That's
pinahihirapan
maybe the
natin
question
yung
eh.
sarili nila para i-dispense out yung pera na yan. Imbis na, di ba, open ka dapat, ito yung offer ko, hindi iniipit mo eh. Parang ganun yung sistema natin eh.
The management one, I would say, and another one is, how are we so proactive when it comes to, finding the right solution? We are so much into band-aid solution.
Yeah, that's the problem with the
Yes.
Philippines. We're not looking at root causes, fixing the root causes, addressing the root causes. We're just looking at, may ganitong sintomas.
Yeah.
Ayusin lang natin yung,
Prophylaxis.
yung symptoms lang ayusin
But then
natin.
again,
Parang
you
hindi
got-
na umabot doon. Parang walang problema kung hindi umabot doon eh.
Oo nga eh.
But then again, you have highly
kailangan may
qualified
problema.
people, right?
But yun nga, the problem is the system that we have does not allow those very highly qualified people's knowledge to be used. Kasi parang na-override sila ng mga taong hindi naman ganun kagaling.
Yeah.
Nangyayari. Kasi yung sistema natin is not about
Tapos
sino yung
magkakaroon
magaling.
na ng frustration. Alis ka
Oo.
na lang, iba na lang gagawin mo.
Kaya
Diba?
nag-OFW na lang. It goes back to the cycle. Like,
No, tsaka, tulad yan, ng mga OFW, hindi as indigenous, minsan hindi sila identified as indigenous na OFW. So, paano mo sila tutulungan? Anong, di ba? Because they may have different circumstances that they also encounter that they need help with.
Exactly.
Okay.
And time check is...
Yeah, we're actually at the very last part of our show. So, I mean, yeah, we're towards the very end of our show.
unfortunate.
So, let's have some parting words. Ikaw muna, Sharmaine, let's have some parting words from you. Maybe something for the audience.
Well, Orion, thank you very much again for inviting me here, and hopefully, I'll keep it short, I hope you all find it in your hearts to appreciate yourselves and yourselves as Filipinos. It's important, and always be humble. Have humility in your life so that you'll never cease seeing things and learning things.
Ayun. Alright, thanks a lot for that, Sharmaine. Okay, Agnes, ikaw naman.
Ayan, doon na camera naman. So,
Ayan.
okay, first of all, a pleasure and grateful to be here in Vantage Point. Nanonood lang ako dati sa the Vantage Point with Ma'am Samira. But now, look at here, to a privilege to be here with Orion's Belt, and so proud that, we are in a three format. Isang table lang kami. Joke lang. Pero hindi. Kidding aside, I'm also plugging to watch The Filipinous World every Saturday, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Via Facebook. You can just follow The Filipinous World. And this coming Saturday, Sharmaine and Naz Berganyo will be doing a culmination of the Indigenous Peoples celebration, or this month's celebration. The words of wisdom that I'd like to impart is do good, feel good, and be good. That's it.
All right, thanks for that, Agnes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we're so blessed today na magaganda ang ating mga guests ngayon. Magagaling, matatalino pa, di ba? Saan ka pa? Guys, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, next week, nandiyan na naman tayo ulit sa ating programa, ang Orion's Belt, Cafe&Cuento. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik sa ating show ngayong araw na ito. Thank you very much. My name is Orion Perez Dumdum, and God bless.
Well, nice. Galing.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
It's very nice conversation here.
Iingatan, ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper. Umulan umaraw, masasandalan parang pader. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan. Malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa. Sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Bayanin ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan. Ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper. Umulan umaraw, masasandalan parang pader. Itaguyod ang kaayusan sa kalsada. Sasakay ka ng walang anumang pangamba. Karapatan ng mga tsuper ay isusulong. Mga programa na sa kanila'y makakatulong. Dahil kayo'y maituturing din na bayani. Maliit na kita, tuloy lang sa pagsisilbi. Maiangat ang ekonomiya sa ating lipunan. Tagapaghatid sa pag-unlad ng ating bayan. Tara na't umarangkada sa pag-unlad papunta. Sakay na at sumama sa BTS. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan. Malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa. Sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Bayanin ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan. Ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper. Umulan umaraw, masasandalan parang pader. Pagripaso at paggawa ng mga batas upang ang buhay natin ay umangat naman ng antas. Ang bayaning tsuper ay tayo ring mga Pilipino. Direksyon ng ating buhay, tayo ang nagmamaneho. Benepisyong nararapat ay hindi pagkakait. Solusyon ang tugon sa mga hinanaing. Sa ating biyahe ay walang ni isa ay maiiwan tungo sa maayos na kinabukasan ng ating bayan. Tara na't umarangkada sa pag-unlad papunta. Sakay na at sumama sa BTS. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan. Malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. pag-asa. Sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan. Malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa. Sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Tayo'y babiyahe tungo sa kinabukasan. Malaya sa sakuna ang bawat daraanan. Ligtas na kalsada, malinaw na pag-asa. Sa BTS, ang partido ng mga bayaning tsuper. Bayanan ng lansangan, ikaw ay iingatan. Ihahatid ka ng ligtas sa iyong paroroonan. Protektado ka sa mga magigiting na tsuper. Umulan umaraw, masasandalan parang pader.